Rob, it's the second week of December, and we're still talking football. That is a wonderful thing. Fifth-seeded William & Mary advanced to the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs as they rolled over Gardner-Webb 54-14 last Saturday. Now, for the first time since 2009, the Tribe will be in the quarters facing fourth-seeded Montana State. Our first thing to watch, and this matchup features the rushing attacks. William & Mary ranks fourth nationally in rushing. Bronson Yoder, Malachi Emo, if he's healthy, and Donovan Lester are some names to highlight. All of those players rank in the top 10 in the CAA in rushing, along with quarterback Darius Wilson, who contributed a team-high 89 yards on the ground against Gardner-Webb. But Montana State, it's a huge challenge to stop their run game as well, Rob.
Yeah, this matchup not only features two of the most prolific rushing attacks in terms of yardage, but both of these teams are extremely creative in the run game and can hit you with a multitude of weapons. William & Mary has rushed for over 300 yards in 5 of the last 6 games. The 4 guys you just mentioned, Bronson Yoder, Malachi Emo, Donovan Lester, and Darius Wilson, they all average better than 6 yards per carry and have over 500 rushing yards for the season. Now on the other side is the Montana State squad that's number 1 in FCS in rushing at 332 yards per game. The Bobcats' top 2 runners are both quarterbacks, Tommy Mellott, who averages over 1,000 yards and 9 TDs, and Sean Chambers, who has 791 yards and 18 touchdowns. Added to that mix are running backs Elijah Elliott and the school's all-time leading rusher, Isaiah Ifanse, who ran for 91 yards last week in his first action of the season after being injured in last year's national championship game. Both of these teams take a great deal of pride in being physical up front and controlling the ball, and we'll see which team can do it better on Friday night.
Here's more from head coach Mike London on the team's rushing attacks.
It's a talented, ground-oriented team, and if they're not running the ball on the ground, then they'll throw it out to the slot receivers, and say, you know what, tackle me in space. And so it contributes to moving the ball, running the clock, and those things. So that's going to be a critical element, I'm sure for us as well as them.
Our second thing to watch is home field advantage. Montana State has won 19 straight at Bobcat Stadium, but William & Mary knows how to travel. They're 6-0 on the road this year. Also, we mentioned playing in December is one thing, but playing in December in Montana, now that's a whole different story. Looking at the forecast, the temperature will be around 20 degrees on Friday night. Now, I'm not a meteorologist by any means, but Rob, that is cold.
That is cold. Earlier this week, William & Mary head coach Mike Lennon said there was no way they could simulate that cold, but they were embracing the challenge of taking on not only the weather, but what should be a spirited environment at Bobcat Stadium. As you mentioned, the Tribe is unbeaten on the road this season, and they've won those 6 contests by an average of over 16 points per game, so they have a formula for success. Montana State's 19-game home field winning streak is the longest in FCS football, and they've won their 7 home games this season by an average of 24 points. They hosted College Game Day a few weeks ago, and they're averaging better than 20,000 fans per game this season. Under the Friday night lights and with a national television audience on ESPN2, it should be a great setting for a playoff game.
Can't wait. Here's Coach London on the challenges of playing on the road.
You can't let whatever the weather conditions are, or whoever's sitting in the stands, you can't let those things be impactful in your performance on the field. And so that's one of the things, thus far we've been pretty good at when we've gone on the road is narrowing and focusing in on the task at hand.
We talked about the rushing attack, but on the opposite side of the ball, both defenses know how to cause havoc. Montana State leads the nation in fumbles recovered this season, and William & Mary just forced 6 turnovers, including 4 interceptions in their last win on Saturday. Our third thing to watch, Rob, turnovers.
Yeah, with the tough weather conditions and both teams committed to running the ball and controlling the clock, whichever team wins the turnover battle could have a big impact on the outcome. Now, as you said, William & Mary forced 6 turnovers, which led to 35 points in the win over Gardner-Webb, and the Tribe ranked second in the conference in turnover margin for the season at +7. Montana State is second in FCS in turnover margin at +16, which includes the nation's best 15 fumble recoveries and 12 interceptions. In what should be a hard-fought and competitive game, turnovers could be the deciding factor.
Here's what Coach London said on taking care of the ball.
Look at us offensively. We like to run the ball. Well, if you can get turnovers and give your offense the ball, then you're eating up clock and you're eating up the opportunity for not to let the other side have the ball. And you go back, you look at the turnovers. I think we're kind of close as well in terms of overall, turnover production. So, getting the ball and giving it to your offense, our offense, I'm speaking for us, That's going to be critical. And
It'll be an entertaining matchup, to say the least. The game will be played on Friday, December 9th on ESPN2 at 10:15 p.m. So drink an afternoon coffee, or at least that's what I'm going to do, and tune into this one. And as always, for updates, recaps, and more, visit at CAA Football on social media and CAAfootball.com. Good luck to the Tribe.